I certainly think the meeting between John Kerry and his Chinese counterparts is very important. And after President Xi announced the China's ambitious program for transition to carbon neutrality, the Chinese, to my knowledge, are ramping up their efforts to accelerate the move to the net zero. And there were certainly questions with regard to China's ability to live up to the promise. I think, yes, China can do it. China is not going to, in my view, not making this announcement without actual deeds and actual programs. Of course, it's an arduous task. It's very challenging. But I think if China wants to do it, China can make it. I think there are some other kind of, areas China and the United States can cooperate, but this is the most important area. If China and the United States can cooperate, I think they can achieve a great progress. At the same time, they can, by working together, making a big push to other countries to accelerate the process moving towards the climate change mitigation and financing. I think that China has the financial resources and technology to accelerate the process to push forward the transition, and I'm sure they would be able to do it.
No doubt, and you mentioned that they have the resources to make the transition, but is the economic imperative there? Because if you look at the stimulus, the type of stimulus that was delivered by the Chinese authorities last year, it went back to the old playbook. It was construction, it was manufacturing, it was the industries that tend to be much higher polluting and therefore emitting a lot more carbon, therefore worse for the environment. How difficult is it going to be for China to green those industries or to switch away from a reliance on those sectors in order to boost the economy?
If you look at the snapshot of China's energy consumption at this stage, certainly the fossil fuel accounts for a large amount, a proportion. But China has the ability to develop hydropower, renewables, and also nuclear technology. And ever since the opening up the reform program, China has made great progress in its technological advancement. And I'm sure, so this is a very important task, and China would be able to achieve this by a combination or an integrated approach to the transition to net zero.
And sir, looking at your initiatives as head of the AIIB, I understand that you're targeting to invest 50% of your annual direct financing into projects that are linked to climate change, to fighting climate change. Give us a sense of the types of projects that you are going to be prioritizing and where those projects are likely to be around the world.
Over the last 5 years, AIIB has made a lot of efforts to finance the climate change mitigation adaptation in many low-income countries, and we attach great importance to the development of the projects, infrastructure projects, which will be constructed in an environmentally benign way. And we, as you know, we make it very clear that we are not going to finance the infrastructure the way these MDBs did 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We want to finance the infrastructure projects so that they would promote the transition to net zero rather than leaving a big footprint in the environment and climate change. So this is a very important part of our mission. And as you know, we have in the recently approved corporate strategy decided to push for the financing for climate change and mitigation up to 50% by 2025. This is certainly not easy because we help a lot of countries which depend still very much on fossil fuel, on coal, and they are in the process of industrialization. They are trying to move out of the a low income level to a higher income level, reducing poverty. All this means the demand for energy will be greatly increased. So this is very much challenging, but as the multilateral development bank, I believe we have the duty, we are in duty bound to help these countries to move faster to the low carbon economy.